Hello and namaste. Accuracy, balance, credibility. This is ABC News and I'm Pratibha Paudil in this ABC Discourse program. It is our commitment to investigate and present real and factual news. All the public related affairs will be our subject to deal with. It is our continuous effort to present exclusive and authentic news and views. Today, we are having a very good conversation with Dr. Binod Bindu Sharma, who is a senior official at the Ministry of Health and Population and undertook a PhD research in Nepal. His PhD research aimed to identify the ways to improve maternal mortality in rural Nepal. His research findings have been positively received and adapted newer policies by the government of Nepal. As a result, pregnant women have been provided with double incentive for transportation to seek antenatal care and care at birth. In addition to this, Dr. Binod's PhD research helped government of Nepal to institutionalize helicopter rescue to obstructed women of the rural districts. Now, Dr. Binod is loving to institute system to produce the sanitary pads, mobilizing local women that are provided free of cost by the government of Nepal. Dr. Binod is accompanied with his supervisor, Laureate Professor Roger Smith, AM from the University of Newcastle, Australia, and his wife, Annie Smith. Professor Roger has been playing a very important role in supporting the lobby effort that Dr. Binod is driving in Nepal for improved maternal outcomes in Nepal. And now, let's have a look at what they have to say regarding this research and its impact over lives of women of rural Nepal. I would like to cordially welcome you all in this ABC Discourse program. And at first, let's have an introduction at first.
Sure.
And let's start from you.
Sure. My name is Roger Smith. I'm a laureate professor from the University of Newcastle in Newcastle, Australia, because there's a Newcastle in England too, but I'm from Australia. And I specialise in research on pregnancy, but I'm also professor of endocrinology. Yeah, that's the science of glands and the clinical medicine of glands and hormones, like diabetes and thyroid disease and pituitary disease. But my research is all on pregnancy.
Okay, let's move to
Hello, Pratibha. My name's Annie Smith. I'm married to Roger, and I visited Nepal in 2016 when we visited the villages. I'm also interested in the project that they are doing. I worked for 36 years as a physiotherapist, so in a peripheral way in the medical spheres. So I'm here to support the program.
Okay, let's move.
Thank you, Pratibha. Thank you for having us here today. My name is Binod Bindu Sharma. I've been working with the Ministry of Health and Population for last 24 years. Recently I did my PhD from University of Newcastle, Australia, and after completion I came to Nepal, and now I'm working with the Ministry of Social Development in Gandaki Province, Pokhara.
Okay, at first I would like to do conversation with Roger Smith. Okay, health is very important part of our life. Okay, it is known as a pillar of development. And you visited Nepal during 2016 as well for the community health education. And I would like to know what were the main objectives behind this?
Sure, Pratibha. The main objective is to try and reduce the number of pregnant women who die during pregnancy. Unfortunately, in Nepal, as in many low-income countries, the mortality rate or the death rate for pregnant women is very high. To give you an idea, in Australia, about 5 women in every 100,000 pregnancies die, whereas in Nepal, the figure is somewhere between 250 and 500 pregnant women dying for every 100,000. This is
There
way
is
too
huge
high.
gap. There is huge gap between.
There's a huge gap, and that means there's a huge opportunity for improvement. And that's what we've been trying to do. Pregnant women die because of 3 delays in them getting good care. The first delay is when the woman and her family take a long time to make up their mind whether there's an important problem or not. The second delay is when they've decided there's a problem in how long it takes to get to the hospital. And the third delay is when they arrive at the hospital but they don't get looked after immediately. So these are the 3 delays that lead to the death of women. And our program in the villages was to address the first delay, helping the village people to understand the importance of looking after the pregnant woman properly and reducing that first delay. And we used the strength of the Nepali culture to try and address that by using singing, which was an unusual approach, but the villagers loved it. We then moved on to addressing the second and third delays by speaking to your government, who have been very responsive, and introducing a helicopter retrieval service for the women in the villages. So this can take the woman from the village directly to a hospital that can perform a cesarean section, give a blood transfusion, or treat other problems of delivery, such as a blocked uterus or obstructed labour. So in this way, we've been able to, or your government so far has been able to organise 47 retrievals of pregnant women so far in the last 6 months, and of those, 46 of the women lived. So this is a wonderful achievement of your government.
What is, I would like to know what were the challenges that Nepalese people are facing, especially women in Nepal.
Okay, thank you. For when we visited the villages, I could see with the difficult terrain and getting to a proper health facility was a big problem. I'm a mother. I have had 2 pregnancies. Both of those pregnancies, I needed to be near a major health facility, and fortunately I was only 20 minutes away. Our eldest were twins who have an increased chance of having complications, and with the second pregnancy, my son had a knot in his cord. Fortunately, that all ended well. But when we visited the villages, we could see the problem, as I said, with the steep terrain in getting to a major facility if they required it when delivering.
Nepal is underdeveloped country, and Australia is very much developed. It is highly developed country. What are the difference between the problems of Australian women, and what difference did you find, and with the women in Nepal?
In some ways, they're similar. In Australia, it's a big country. There are a number of women that live in remote areas, and they have to plan for their deliveries and move closer to a major health facility. So, and then, of course, if there's a complication, then they are transported there by helicopter or fixed-wing aeroplane. So they, that has been in place. I'm not sure for how long, but that happens in Australia. So now in Nepal, that is beginning to happen, so that they're using the helicopter to take these women who are at increased risk or who have complications to a major medical facility.
Okay.
Annie, can I ask you, in Australia, it's easy to talk about pregnancy and also easy to talk about death.
Yes.
And unless you talk about death, it's hard to prevent it.
True.
And that, I think, was one of the problems that we noticed in the village life, that talking about pregnancy and talking about death was taboo. Is that correct, Binod?
Yes, Roger.
You mean that they are very frank to talk about pregnancies and related matter, women problems in Australia, but it is not is the condition with Nepal. They are frank to talk about this pregnancy related matter.
Yeah, in Australia, it's
Australia.
easy to discuss these issues, and we have good records for every single maternal death, and every single maternal death is investigated. Whereas we found with Binod's research that in Nepal, the best results were in the most remote areas of Nepal. And that puzzled us a lot until we realized that the deaths of women in remote areas were not counted unless the woman got to hospital. So there were many deaths occurring that were not reported even. And that's a big problem.
Okay, we have learned that health messages were given through song in the rural villages. How did you manage to do that? How did they sing that? And how the people, the women were interested on that? How did they do this kind of things? Health related matter with song.
Yes.
It sounds very good.
Thank you for this question, Pratibha. No. As I mentioned earlier, that when we started our project in Australia, we had an intensive literature review, and we found that Nepalese communities are fond of singing, and particularly women. They are very much fond of singing, and every ritual or cultural activities involve singing and dancing. And we planned our project in a way that this singing would embed health messages, and we planned the project in a way that 5 key messages would be embedded in the song. Those 5 messages are having 4 antenatal visits during pregnancy, having proper rest during pregnancy, and to have a proper meal with regular meals during pregnancy, and family members should discuss to plan the childbirth, and lastly the women should be delivered in a hospital where delivery can be performed. So these were the 5 key messages that we given to the local community, and community was really excited to have that kind of opportunity, that they are very much interested in singing, and they found the messages to embed in their song. And we had 26 groups in the community developing their song in their own melody, and we organized a song competition, and community people themselves, they judged the songs, and they selected 6 songs to take to the next level to the community. And we found that it was wonderful approach, culturally suitable, and people liked that approach. And teachers in the village, teachers are very credible source in Nepalese context, and they are the ones who would be very much respected in the community, and they came forward to take these health messages, and they were trained to take the messages in the community through singing, and we had a progression through the communities, and we went with a team of teachers singing health messages in house to house environment. Initially in 2016, we completed the intervention in 18 villages, And when we found that it was effective method to educate community, and we, after our results were published in American Journal of Obstetrics and Gynecology, and with the evidence we went back to community again, and we organized intervention in 72 villages. That was big story, and that was a big success within the community. And I would say that this program was designed with the help of community, developed and implemented in the leadership of the local communities. So this is how our project really went to the community and succeeded.
From my point of view, the success of the program was remarkable because it took a village situation, a cultural situation, where you were not allowed to talk about pregnancy and not allowed to talk about death, into the complete opposite, where everybody was talking about pregnancy. Because Binod, is part of his PhD, which is now being completed, so is now Dr. Sharma, because he has his PhD. After his work, when he went back a year later, everybody in the village still remembered all the messages and all the songs. And this is because everybody in the village got exposed to the songs at the same time. So the young men, the young women, the old men, and the old women, and the teenagers, and even the children, all heard this message at the same time. So before the song, they thought one way. After the song, everybody thought a different way. And so now when a woman in that village area becomes pregnant, all the other villagers want to know, has she been to antenatal classes? Is she getting extra food? Is she getting the rest? What is the plan for her delivery? Will she have a skilled birth attendant? So this is a very positive change, a flipping of the culture from a damaging taboo to a very positive environment for a pregnant woman.
Are you working on that sanitary pad?
Yes, we've also got a program to increase the availability of sanitary pads for Nepalese schoolgirls. This is a program that the Nepalese government has recently introduced under its latest budget. The reason for introducing this is again a cultural issue in Nepal, where when girls start menstruating, they often have to leave school and are treated differently, as though it is somehow unclean. This is very unhelpful for Nepalese culture because it deprives young girls of education, and it leads to earlier age of marriage and younger age for having children. By providing free sanitary pads, as the Nepalese government has just organized for, it means that the girls will get a better education, and that will lead to increased economic opportunities for the whole of Nepal. A more educated mother will lead to more educated children. And this will greatly benefit Nepal. So it's a wonderful program that's been initiated by the Nepalese government, and we want to do everything we can to support it. And one of the most important aspects of it is that the sanitary pads will be manufactured by Nepalese women in the community. So this means that the money from the Nepalese budget will be spent in Nepal rather than going to some foreign country.
Renewable sanitary pad?
Yes. Exactly. So these sanitary pads are made with cotton, so they're biodegradable. They can be used for up to 18 months. Okay. They are safe and
it is washable, you mean?
Yes.
It's washable, yes. Exactly. Okay. So they can be reused.
And Nepalese people are involved in making that?
Absolutely.
Nepalese women?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So Binod has already organised for a pilot project where young Nepalese women are being taught how to make the sanitary pads. So this is the sanitary pad. It's beautiful on the outside and on this side. So these are the washable cloths, and they go into these little pockets on either end. And then you can put more of these in if the bleeding is heavy and less if it's light. And then they're attached to the underpants with this clip. It's really cool. And it's also beautiful. And so the village ladies are making a beautiful product that's very valuable for the ladies of the village. And I'm very excited, and I was very pleased to show this in Australia. And now in Australia, I have several students who are going to start working on designing beautiful sanitary pads. And this is an area where Annie too was very interested, because I think all around the world, ladies like sewing and making beautiful things. And Annie and her sisters also like sewing, and the lady friends. Would you like to talk about that, Annie?
Yes, I mean, in fact, my grandmother and my mother, my sisters, and now my daughter, I mean, we all enjoy sewing, and it's very rewarding, so I can understand how satisfying it is for the local Nepali women to be making those. It's a great initiative.
And about sanitary pad, Gandaki province has been an example for the country, and Gandaki province has allocated 10 million Nepalese rupees to provide free sanitary pads to 30 public school going girls. And the Gandaki province has arranged a training program for the local women, 22 local women, and they have produced sanitary pads. These are the ones they have produced, and we have demonstrated these in Australia. And as Professor Roger said, that in Australia, PhD students have been thinking to produce such beautiful pads and having an international competition in making sanitary pads. So we have really, Gandaki province has really been inspired Australian students. And not only the girls, school going girls will be benefited, but these 22 girls, they have learned how to make these sanitary pads, and they will have long-term job. As Professor Roger said, if we implement this project in a way that this pad will be used by the school girls to continue their education, in other way we can train 2,000 local women, and they will continue to produce sanitary pad, and they will have long-term jobs, and it will particularly impact their lives in health and education seeking behavior. So it is very important for Nepalese government.
Government is providing this pad free of cost.
Yes, yeah. Women would work to produce these pads, and these pads will be purchased by government funding. These pads will be purchased
by the government.
Yeah, by the government. So there will be production and use. The cycle will continue for long term.
And an important aspect that I'd like to emphasize, although I've said it once already, is that the more educated your mother is, the better you do at school. So it is helping not only the girl who gets the sanitary pads to continue her education, but in the future it will benefit her children. Both boys and girls will do better at school if they have a better educated mother.
They can raise their living standard as well because of the job. You know?
Absolutely. So you think a sanitary pad is just to deal with menstruation, but it's not. It echoes through the community in many different ways, affecting the future health and well-being of Nepalese society.
We learned that you are a very good dancer, and you went to the rural villages and you danced there. How you feel there?
Thank you. Yes, it was a wonderful experience, and the local women were very keen and enthusiastic singers and dancers, and they were very keen for me to participate. So I couldn't help it. It was easy for me, easy in that I was very keen to participate. No, it was terrific, and also I like singing and dancing. I'm not sure that I did justice, but
you enjoyed
I
a
enjoyed
lot.
it.
Yeah,
It's good
so
fun.
Annie at home sings in 2 choirs, and 2 of her sisters also sing in choirs. And recently we've been in Kenya with the Maasai people, and we saw too that the ladies there also love singing and dancing, and Annie danced with them there too. So singing and dancing is also something that Nepalese society has in common with many other societies around the planet, both developed and low income. It seems that it doesn't matter what your income is, ladies around the world love singing and dancing.
It's very nice to talk with you all, and thank you very much for coming in my show. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Thank you so much.
It's lovely to have been here, and we've enjoyed it very much.
Hope his mission of empowering women and promoting their good health conditions over rural Nepal would get successful, and I would like to wish him all the best for his mission. Now we have come to the end of this discourse program. I will come with other interesting facts and information on the same day, same time and same channel. Keep watching ABC News. Namaste, goodbye, have a good time. Thank you.